Welcome back to We're Not Really Here. I'm Natalie Pike and I am joined by Richard Dunne and Shaun Goater, and it is half-time in today's FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. Now, if you were listening to the wonderful commentary from Alistair Mann, he was doing a cracking job there on what must be a tough job, because as he described, it's a game that's not quite caught fire yet. Fairly uneventful 45 minutes of football, which ended up possession, City 51%, Chelsea 49%. One shot on target in the whole game, which was for City, which was Jesus in around 10, 11 minutes, which wasn't even a particularly strong chance either. So fairly uneventful 45 minutes. So I'm going to throw to the lovely gentleman in the studio to talk for a full 15 minutes about that half. Shaun, go. What did you think of that half?
Well, listen, I'm absolutely gassed about that half. What I would say is, Chelsea actually look like they're doing what I saw them do in the Liverpool game. They try to encourage City to come on with the press by what some would say is risky football, because they're having a lot of short passes, and you're thinking, are you seriously? You're doing this against City? City win this ball, it could result in a goal, but I see it as brave from Chelsea's point of view. They're being brave, playing loads of passes in and around the box, with the hope that they can then release their quick forwards. But City are pretty switched on. So when they've broken out, they've not been able to find that release pass and then be able to go, oh, we'll on to something. I thought they started it better. I thought, when I look at City's point of view, I think that City are actually, now when I know they start in terms of Fernandinho and Rodri, I think Pep is putting a measured first half. It's almost like, let me see your hand. That's what I think is going on. And the reason I say that is because we've changed our system. And Dunne knows that when you play a system, you understand, and every time you receive a ball, you look up, you know there's a player there, because the system you play, there will be a player there. But when you change the system and you look up and you go, it should be a player there, it's not one there. And that's the difference with what we have now. We have two holding midfielders and one number 10. So I think Pep is looking and thinking, what's happening with regards to what are they doing? Because he gets first-hand information from the data stats guys that give him real reports. What's happening when Kevin De Bruyne gets the ball, who's pressuring, how they're pressuring him, and then he does stuff second half to counter that. So this is what happens even at the Etihad and all these sort of games. So again, I'm intrigued with what will happen second half. But I know I spoke a lot there and gave a lot.
That was amazing.
But this is something that we know. We know that Pep gets feedback or gets stats and information regarding the first half performance. So the first 2-3 minutes in the dressing room is information being fed to Pep. And then when he sits down and talks to the team, he said, this is what they're doing with this player. This is what they're doing. They're pushing up, they're squeezing, they're doing this. And then he with his scientific brain, does all that calculation and Einstein stuff, and then says, right, this is what we're doing. Couple moves here, loose switches here, and then we go, wow.
I like that Einstein stuff that goes on in Pep's head. I like that a lot. Obviously, we've got, worlds of talent on the bench as well. I like what Shaun said there, kind of about weighing them up, seeing what they got. What do you think may change then in the second half, Richard? Do you think anything immediately?
Certainly not immediately. I think you look at the two sides and the respect that they've got for each other. They both know one error and this game is over, because they're defensively, they're both really strong. Chelsea have 3 attacking players on the field and that's it. The rest of them are all defensive minded. So I think at the moment it's like Shaun says, they're trying to suss each other out. It's like cat and mouse and see who's going to sort of go first. But City have options. They've obviously got the 2 holding midfielders. You'd sacrifice one of them if you want to go and win the game. I just think the way that they're going, the senses are, we're all right, we're in the match. There's no intensity really in that first half. It's just to send, right, you have the ball, we'll have the ball, and that's the way it's been. Eventually somebody will step out, somebody will do something different, and an opportunity will come, and it might
I'm going to jump right on that. Sorry. The pace is going to come, because I think City will Pep will look at how the first half went. He'll make some little adjustments, not subs or anything, just adjustments saying this is what we've got to do. And then all of a sudden our tempo will go up. Because here's the thing. Have we heard the commentator talk about Kevin De Bruyne? Have we heard him talk about Sterling? Have we heard him talk about Torres? We haven't done anything offensively. And I think we've purposely gone out to manage this game. Because at the start of this game, we know, because we're going on all four fronts, we don't want this game to go extra time and the rest of it. If I am Thomas Tuchel, I'm saying I would actually manage the game. You say, I'll be happy if the game goes extra time, because if City are thinking about all these other trophies, I want it to go longer. But I think Pep has actually measured it to say, well, let's see what he's doing with Chelsea. They may have researched and looked at games, but let's see what they're going to do with us, and then make his tweaks and adjustments. Because you can't make too many adjustments in the second half as to, oh, this is what you got to do now, because the players out there, they just got to play. So I think this is what's going on in the dressing room. And I see, as Dunne says, in terms of the tempo, we're seeing this switch in a play. I think you're going to see a high level from City. In terms of the tempo, in possession, out of possession, certainly after the first 5 or 10 minutes, we'll start to see that.
In terms of the positioning of some of the players, Richard, I was looking at Raheem Sterling, and he seems to be playing a lot more central than we're used to him, which seems to be because Mendy is staying and really sort of hugging that line. I adore Raheem Sterling, but I don't massively like him in this central position. What have you made of where he's playing today?
I get it, because Mendy is an attacking fullback, and that he wants that space down the line just to go all the time. When you bring Sterling in, it's just another body in an already crowded central area. I think Raheem is brilliant if he comes in and he dribbles the ball into the midfield, but standing still in there waiting to receive, I don't think is his best quality. And I just think the whole game just seems congested all through the middle. There doesn't seem space or anything to be able to do it. I think the inventive players have no room to be able to do that, and the defensive players, we've seen Rodri and Fernandinho taking turns to make fouls on Mount. They want to stop any creative sort of movement from both sides, and it's all just congested. It's a bit slow. Everyone's a bit cagey. Everybody's waiting for something, and it might take a moment from Raheem Sterling to come in inside and do something like that. But for me, like you, I think the preference would be that he stays wide and he gets the opportunity to go 1v1 against somebody, because inside against 3-4 people, it's so difficult for him.
Alistair Mann mentioned in his commentary, Shaun, about mental fatigue, and obviously both the teams played Champions League quarterfinals midweek, which is, huge physically and mentally for them. As a player, is mental fatigue when you've got so many games, is that a thing, or are we looking for reasons why that half was a bit stale?
It can become a thing when you look too far ahead. So, for instance, City start looking 3 games down the road. If we get across these, then they start looking and thinking, oh, well, we've got that game. Then things can get a bit tricky. And this is why, it's really simplified for players. We only deal with this game and we're only worrying about this game. And so this is the message you heard from Pep. So from City's point of view, these guys would be at the peak in terms of being motivated, because I was, we were talking about it before, how I was so excited to be on all 4 fronts. I mean, I'm walking through the dressing room. My chest is out. I'm just like, I'm a part of this, and we've got a long way to go in different areas, whether it's the FA or the league or et cetera. But I'm walking in and I'm looking and going, I know Dunne's got the defense sealed up. I've got to take care of my part up front. And so this would be the attitude, the mentality of the players. So mental fatigue, I don't think so. I think, again, they'll not be thinking beyond this game. I don't know if you think differently, Dunne.
I agree. What I find difficult when you start a game with a slow tempo, it's very difficult to raise it. If you start quickly, and you get your goals and you relax, then you can calm the game down. But I always find it difficult for teams to go, right, well, we'll just take it easy for 70 minutes and then we'll all of a sudden become great and we'll all raise it. And I think once you start the game in a certain tempo, there's only so high you can get. And this whole game, the intensity has been low. How high are we going to get? And as it goes on, and then the first goal comes and it's 75 minutes. If it's for you, great. If it's against you, there's not much time left to go. So for me, I would like to see City come out in the second half, bit more intensity, have a go at Chelsea and see actually what Chelsea are made of, because at the moment, for both defences, it's been quite simple.
So we've got the second half coming up very soon, and you can, of course, get the commentary of that on the City app with Alistair Mann. We're going to take a little look now at some of the tweets that you've been sending in to us. You can use the hashtag WNRH. And as I said before the game, that we have a prize to give away today. So we're giving away a home shirt, and that is to the best picture that we get sent in today. So we're looking to see how you are watching the game today. What's your setup like at home? Basically, I think I'm looking for as many sort of pieces of City merchandise, memorabilia, badges in sort of one picture. I mean, like we've got there the shirt with a scarf. I'm looking for as many badges and logos and City stuff as possible as my preference. And we can see some of the great tweets that we've been getting in so far. Kavita Chung, thank you, Kavita, you're a big fan of the show. We appreciate you getting in touch a lot. Has said, let's go and win it tonight. Now, she's got a brilliant picture. She's in a shirt, and then she's got a logo on the wall, and then there's some kind of bunting there that's blue, which I like. So excellent start. Thank you, Kavita. Then we've got Alan Hill has said, I'm nervous but full of faith. Come on, City. And I'm loving that. It's a kiss the badge picture. We love a kiss the badge. And then Carl Sproston has said, come on, Super City. We can do it. Now, Carl, I'm so jealous. Carl's in his City shirt, clearly outside in his back garden with the sun shining down on him. Carl, I'm wondering if you've got a TV out there, or how are you watching it if you're outside, or are you looking through your window? Let us know how you're watching it. And you've still got a chance to send your pictures in. We'll pick a winner at full time. Hashtag WNRH. Now, we also did the mystery blue before the game. So, we've had some good guesses in. Again, we'd love hearing your guesses. Hashtag WNRH. Let's have a look at the mystery blue. Shaun is not sure yet, but Dunne and I are agreeing on our guess. So, let's have a look. It is a former City player, and we've blurred it up. So we're looking for clues, but there's no shirt today for you to give you any clue of time period. There's also no visible chest or body tattoos or underarm tattoos, but we can't see what's on top of the arm. A sharp hairline, but that might just be the blurring. Somebody that takes their tops off. I mean, there's a few players, obviously, that more often would take their tops off, and that's all I'm getting from that. Are you pulling anything else from that, Shaun?
I'm not. I see the bow, the type of bow tells me that I think it was, well, I see that it's blurred, but there's an orange in the bow. It tells me I think it was used in the last sort of 3-4 years.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I could.
I like it.
So in the last 3 or 4 years, that's where it's telling me.
I like it, Shaun. See, we're always looking for clues. So some of your suggestions at home. Thomas Halpin has said the mystery blue is Captain Company, Irish Blues, and he's put the island flag there, doesn't he?
Nice. Bad guess though.
No, yeah. Maybe it was the sharp hairline.
I think it was the position. I think we've seen Company in that sort of stance a few times, picking up trophies normally.
Yes, and he definitely was a shirt taker offer. So yeah, and then we've had Raphael Portelet says Zabaleta for sure, and Alan Hill also says Zabaleta. And Dunne, that was our guess, wasn't it?
That's what we're going for, I think.
Yeah, we're going for Zabaleta. Shaun, are you putting any names into the hat there?
I didn't think Zabaleta. I hadn't a clue, but the last 3-4 years, I'm going to pick it back up. I haven't a clue, but I'm going to pick it back on that Zabaleta one there.
That's it. We're a team in the studio on Zabaleta. Right, the teams are coming back out. Let's hope for an excellent 45 minutes full of energy and goals for City. I really don't want it to go to extra time. If we win in the end, I'll be happy, obviously, but let's do it in this 90 minutes. Right, enjoy the second half. Get your commentary on the City app with Alistair Mann, and we'll be back here as soon as the final whistle goes, wherever that is. We'll see you later.